Hello, Dicks and Ghouls. It's been a hot minute since the last time I have been part in a readathon, but I decided that what the hell. This April I'm turning 40, so I'm feeling very old school because of that. So I decided to participate in Kelsi's from Slime Slashers Old School April event, which is a readathon slash watchathon that has a lot of prompts. And as I said, yes, there are 10 prompts in this event that I have to complete, and I have picked some books that fit those prompts. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm part of the Silver Snakes team. Alright, so let's go through some of the prompts, what I'm planning to read for them. And, I don't have a definite plan. I have some ideas on what to read. And I guess I'm going to do some updates, some talks about the things I watch and I read. And definitely have no watching plans, so I'll just wing it. What can I say? But let's talk about the books, because this channel is called Grim Reads, not Grim Watches. Even though I sometimes talk about games and movies and series and all that stuff. So, let's see the prompts. Prompt number 1 asks for any Goosebump books or a book that fits the theme or vibe of an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And among those there is a challenge to read a comic book. So I guess I'm going for Fragments of Terror by Junji Ito. This will be my first Junji Ito manga, so I'm looking forward to it, even though it's not published in 2000, before 2003. It's published in 2014, so I'm not sure if it fits the prompts, but it says that we should pick one regardless of. So yeah, Fragments of Terror it is. Yes, I'm curious about Junji Ito because everybody in HorrorTube is like he's the best, so I want to give him a try, and that's a great opportunity. Prompt number 2 is read any horror book published or set in the 80s. Oh well. It will probably be covered by number 3, prompt number 3. Read an Animal Attack book. And I'll go for The Cats by Nick Sarman. It will be the first book of 30th I read. Probably I'll start on Saturday or Sunday or the weekend. And basically it's a very thin book. It's about cats. It's like in the tradition of the rats, which I've read recently. And there will be a video coming sometime when I sit down to edit it. I'm going to do a reading vlog of it because I think it will be hilarious. It will be so much fun. No drinking like the other reading vlog I'm uploading right now, and hopefully no COVID like the next the reading vlog I did, which is not on YouTube yet. I don't know where it will be because there's a lot of material and a lot of editing out the coughs, because midway through the reading vlog I got COVID. And that was not the worst part. Believe me, the book was more agonizing than COVID. So yeah, I hope this book is fun. I'm going to make a vlog out of it. And okay, it's New England's Library. And as you can see, the logo of New England's Library looks a lot like a trash can, which is definitely proof that this is a book worth reading. Mood read. I really want to read this book, The Offering by Gerald Suster. I've read another Gerald Suster book and I was not impressed with it. It was some sort of a sequel to, it was called The Devil's Maze, and it is some sort of a sequel to an Arthur Machen story I have not read. So yeah, it was pretty obscure to me back then, but I think this one will be fun. It's about a couple who's moving to a house that used to belong to an outrageous rock star. So that's so very 80s, so very amazing. And let's see what it covers. I mean, maybe even cover the nostalgic technology aspect, because there's a straight razor, and for the love of God, I cannot find anything else. No book with some sort of VIDAS technology. Maybe James Ballard's Crash, which has an old car's board on the cover, so that's another option. So yeah, that's the nostalgic technology, the prompt number 4. It should feature older technology on the cover, like cassettes, top TV, arcade machines, VHS tapes, Walkman, radio, Polaroid pictures, typewriter, corded telephone. I'll check my books again, but I'm not sure I can find it. And yeah, that's Crash. Definitely nostalgic technology vibes. I mean, look at this car. I bet that you need the key to turn it on. So yeah, that's nostalgic, because they don't make cars like that, believe me. Prompt number 6 is read a Fear Street book, or a point horror book, or a Christopher Pike book. I'm going to go to used bookstores on Saturday and see if I can dig up any of those books. I mean, I believe Fear Street was published in Greek, so maybe I'll find some. I can think of a bookstore may have some of these. We'll see. Prompt number 7 is Teen Witch. Read a book with magic. There's a good chance I'll be covered with that. I don't know. Yeah, Supernatural Elements. Alright, probably the offering will cover me. Number 8, read any horror book published in the 90s. For lack of a better pick, I'll go for Necroscope 5, Dead Spawn by Brian Lumley. I've been reading the first 5 books of the Necroscope last year, and I plan to do a full video for the trilogy. It's a video that's 22 years in the making, since I've read the first Necroscope back in 2001 or 2002. No, definitely 2002. And this one was published in 1991. It's a chunker. It's almost 600 pages long, which is not something you do during a readathon. I don't know. It's not my first pick, and the reason why is, while I kind of like some things of the Necroscope, I'm not quite gelling with Brian Lumley's writing style, which is the same, because this series is a lot of fun. It's a espionage horror, and you should definitely give the first book a try, but we'll talk about this when I finally make the video. So yeah, maybe I should bite the bullet and go for it. Depends on the timeline. You know what? Fuck Necroscope. I'll read Darkfall by Stephen Laws. It's definitely smaller, seems to be more fun. I want to give Stephen Laws a try, since Edward Lorne is a big fan of his, and I'm curious to read this book. And look at that, that's a very well loved book. Whoever got this book and gave it away loved it a lot, because it's worn. And there is readathon prompt number 9, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Read a story or book with a female protagonist, or a book written by a woman. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for us male fantasy readers, or sci-fi or horror readers, because we don't do women. Alright, this came off a bit wrong. We don't read women. Alright, at some point I got this book here, Still Watch by Mary Higgins Clark, which comes up in Ladies of Horror names, authors that. So I guess I'll give it a try. and see where this goes. And then there's the bonus prompt, neon on the cover, and I'll go for something totally different. I'll go for Inherent Vice by Thomas Pynchon, with his heavy literary author. So definitely no type of book you read in a readathon, you want your books to be small and easy to go through and manageable, so you won't run out of time and have to obsessively read and go for it and not be able to do something fun with it. So I think this will do. So these are my plans for the nostalgic April event. Are you planning to participate? And I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to make videos about this event, but nevertheless I will. So if you plan to participate, leave a comment below what you're reading, and maybe I'll watch your videos if I'm not too busy reading. Thank you for watching.